to Fundora first. We'll go the Fundora route because we've been in talks with the Fundora, and we working on something right now with that. And I'm working on it with PBC them, and then as well as we've been in talks with the winner of Tszyu and Earl Spence, and they both verbally, all of them three guys have agreed to fight me. Earl jumped in the ring trying to fight for Sebastian Fundora, moving up from 154. And I'm in that joker like, hold on, hold on. I've been said I was coming back. I've been said I wanted my straps. Let me continue to train and grind. Now I'm getting frustrated. I'm grinding. I'm training. Now I'm pulling up to the fights. Now they understanding it's time to, hey, he wanted back. So nobody beat me for my belts.
My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, do we have some things to discuss when it comes to Jermell Charlo and his interview that he did yesterday. Shout out to Brian Custer, The Last Stand, always getting on the biggest boxers in the boxing world, asking some great questions. You heard it for yourself, Jermell Charlo, former 154-pound undisputed king.
To Fundora first. We'll go the Fundora route because we've been in talks with the Fundora, and we working on something right now with that. And I'm working on it with PBC them.
Jermell Charlo says he's in talks with Sebastian Fundora, is talking to the PBC, and has also had a verbal agreement with all three of these people, a verbal agreement between the winners out of Tszyu and the return of Earl the True Spence Jr. And my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I wonder if this is true. Just 3 weeks ago, if you don't remember, Sebastian Fundora takes on Keith One-Time Thurman. After the fight ends, you had a drunk Jermell Charlo doing interviews, yelling at Sean Tatal, getting things wrong, obviously was drunk, said that nobody had hit him up yet, that nobody was giving him the phone call, that he's waiting for somebody to call him up so he can get back in the ring. Now, since then, it seems like Jermell Charlo, who just claimed on Brian Custer's The Last Stand podcast, has begun negotiations when it comes to a fight against the WBC junior middleweight champion of the world, the towering inferno, the tallest champion that we have in the sport of boxing. And no, he's not a light heavyweight, a cruiserweight, a bridgerweight, or a heavyweight. He's a 154-pounder, the towering inferno. You guys, I don't know if this is actually true when it comes to the career of Jermell Charlo, even though he speaks this. We don't really know if this man is coming back to fight any one of those three fighters in his return, hopefully in the second half of 2026. But one thing I will tell you is the hate is real. The hate is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's taking over the brain of Jermell Charlo. And I'm going to tell you why. During those interviews with Sean Tatal and everybody backstage after the Sebastian Fundora versus Keith One-Time Thurman fight, Jermell Charlo said that Fundora would knock out Earl Spence Jr., that he would beat him. All those other dudes that think that they could beat Fundora, like Earl the True Spence Jr., they can't. Had to bring up his name specifically.
I think he stops majority of those guys that thought they could beat him, like Earl Spence, and I think he stops him. Fundora's an excellent fighter. He's a champ. So reason why he's 6 foot, he dominant, but can't fuck with me.
Now, in this interview with The Last Stand and Brian Custer, he says something that's absolutely diabolical, ladies and gentlemen. He says he believes Tszyu is going to beat Earl the True Spence Jr. and that he sees himself fighting Tszyu in the future. He went from saying that he thinks Fundora beats Earl the True Spence Jr. to now saying Tszyu beats Earl the True Spence Jr. Jermell Charlo just don't give a how, ladies and gentlemen. He's not thinking with knowledge. but he's thinking with hate. And I don't like it, man. I don't like it. What I want to see from Jermell Charlo is him get back in the goddamn ring. I don't even care if it's against a big name in the sport of boxing at 154 pounds. Nobody actually wants to see that. What we want to see is a no excuses, in shape Jermell Charlo, former undisputed 154-pound king, face the champions in the sport of boxing at his best, not off of a 3-year layoff. In September of 2026, it will have officially been 3 years out of the ring. And 4 years, 1 month away. 4 years, we're 1 month away from Jermell Charlo fighting at 154 pounds. In this interview, he talks about you're only as good as your last fight, and talks about his last fight. Well, bro, that was at 168 pounds against Canelo Alvarez. And you were, running the whole goddamn time. Gave yourself absolutely no opportunity to win this fight. And before that was against Brian Castaño. Brian doesn't even fight in the sport of boxing anymore. Go look up when was Brian's fight, his next fight after Jermell Charlo's fight. It's non-existent. You're coming off a win against somebody who is non-relevant in the sport of boxing right now. You're coming off a loss in your last fight against a guy who just got dethroned and is past his prime. And this is well known, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see Jermell Charlo get back in the ring, but it's diabolical, some of the interviews that he's been doing recently, man. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel bringing it to you. He says he's talked to the PBC. He says he's verbally agreed with Tszyu and Earl the True Spence Jr. to face the winners. Let me know what you guys think. Is this cap? Is Jermell Charlo just trying to act relevant because he's doing his interviews and doesn't want to say, I don't have nothing going on right now. I'm actually not talking to any one of these big fighters. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, fam. I'm